In this video, I'm going to run through how I got a 47% return in 2020 for my Etoro portfolio, doubling my initial target and beating all three major indices in the process, Dow, S&P and NASDAQ, which is no mean feat. Hi everyone, so this video is the first on my new channel. I wanted to kick off this off with a summary of the portfolio for 2020. It was a brilliant year, I can't no denying. I'm sure it was for many people if they got in early in March. It's also my first year of being an Etoro popular investor, so that was a big milestone for me, and also a ringing endorsement that in itself really that I've managed to pick up some copiers for the first time, all of which ended the year in profit. So that was really pleasing for me. To achieve all of this with a risk score of 5 and using no additional leverage, no short selling, was really pleasing for me. Going forward, I've set up this channel primarily for me to post my weekly updates on my Etoro portfolio with detailed breakdowns of the positions that I've opened and closed, covering the technical entry points that I've decided on. I'll still be doing my weekly posts on Etoro as well, but I just felt that putting the videos up would be a useful exercise and a bit more easy for people to visualize how I'm reading the markets, what I'm looking at from a technical perspective on my entry and exit points. So there'll be a lot of delving into charts on the weekly chart specifically. Even though these videos will all primarily be running through the technical aspect of the trades that I do, all of the stocks that I have in my watch lists, and there are sort of 400 to 500, all of those are ones that I'm comfortable with from a fundamental perspective. So, you know, financially they're in a strong position. They're in a strong position in their sort of target market. So these videos, whilst they're not going into the fundamental side of it, the fundamental work from my side of things has already been done. So I've narrowed down the stocks that I like the look of from a fundamental perspective. And these weekly videos are ones that will cover off the technical aspect. So when I'm looking to get in a trade from the technical charting perspective. So, yep, there will be a lot of technical talk, but please don't think that I've been remiss when it comes to the fundamental side as well. It'd be great if you could like and subscribe to my channel or follow me on Etoro. I'll be constantly posting my thoughts on the market. You can check out my Etoro profiles. The link is in the description. You can also copy me, follow me, whichever you prefer. Like I say, I'm completely transparent with all of my trades. If you have any questions, then feel free to fire them off in the comments section or post them on my wall on Etoro. I'll respond to, you know, the comments and stuff as quick as I can. So I wanted to cover off some headline stats to start with. So let's just jump straight into the portfolio. Okay, so here we are on the portfolio. So if we go to 2020, so as you can see, we finished the year just over 47%. Which is a really impressive return. I think the S&P 500 finished up about 16%. The Dow was just up 7%. The NASDAQ was up about 43%. So we've beaten all three major indices in 2020, which is a great return. As you can see, it started off fairly slow. In all honesty, January and February, I did still have some FX and commodity positions. I mentioned in my intro video that's on my YouTube channel that I previously used to trade FX and commodities. So those were sort of some hangovers from those positions. And then, you know, come March time, I think as most people saw, with the huge market decline, I thought I saw some big opportunities. So let's jump in on those. And then from there, obviously barring September, it's been really profitable. November, I think once things become clear with the US presidential elections and the stimulus packages that were getting put together, we saw some fruitful returns from a lot of positions that we'd actually opened months before. So, you know, it was a patience game, but patience paid off big time in this sense. So that was a great return for November, which took us up, you know, made up probably 2/3 of the gains for the year. But obviously, that looks impressive for 1 month. It's not consistent. You would never, you know, you're not going to ever get 32% every single month. But that was a patience game. Those positions that were opened were probably sort of March, April May time. So that paid off for us. So yeah, 47% return. If we go into the portfolio, just move this up slightly. So you can see here, yeah, Jumia currently up 510%. So these are some of the long-term stocks we've got in the portfolio at the moment. Won't be looking to close any of those out anytime soon. What I am interested in to show you is the realized return for the year. So this is, you know, closed profit. These are the positions that we've closed, and we've made a 42% realized gain on the portfolio, which is brilliant. Not a lot of trades really, 166. Like I said, we're looking to invest in companies mid to long term. So not a huge amount of trades, but 166, 90% of which were profitable, and gave us a return, realized return of 42%, which is brilliant. And if we look at some of the main winners, so Norwegian Cruise Lines, we got in on those ones quite early. So combined, they come to 103%. Synchrony Financial, MGM. So as you can see, even though, you know, my interest is in the technology sector, I've diversified across companies, across sectors. So we did have some huge gains on some of the big ones. So if we also scroll down, just to give you an idea on how my risk levels changed as well. So as you can see, over the last 3 months, as the markets have settled down, we've settled on a risk score of around about 4, with a maximum risk of 5. So this is really pleasing. Obviously, when the markets were volatile back in March, April, May, the risk score was quite high, but that's evened out now. We've got a nice balance to the portfolio. 5 new copiers. I'm hoping this year, the target for this year is to try and get up to 50 new copiers, which would be amazing. Obviously, I understand that there's a lot of competition out there with a lot of PIs now entering into the platform. But you know, it's up to me to prove to new copiers that I can handle managing their money and getting good returns. So at the moment, I imagine these stats will probably update in the next month or so, but roughly about 4 trades per week. As I said, mid to long term is what I'm looking for. So for anywhere from 3 months to a couple of years holding time on some of the positions. The longer term ones, I probably will just hold forever. But I am very active compared to others. So there will be trades opened most weeks and closed most weeks. So I think targets for next year, I set myself a 20% target in 2020, which I managed to double. So we've got over 47%. I do think this year is going to be a lot more difficult because obviously a lot of stimulus packages were enabled and pumped into the market. So to sort of, you know, avoid a heavy recession. So it will be a lot more difficult this year. I still think there's massive opportunity for growth. So I'm being fairly modest in setting it at a 20% target again. Bearing in mind I doubled that last year, but I'll be happy with 20% again this year. Sorry, over 20% again this year. And as mentioned, if I can get over, you know, if I can get to 50 copiers, that would be brilliant. I'm only 1 year into my PI journey, so if you want to copy, follow, please do so. It'd be brilliant to have you on board. Like I say, I'm regular with my communication. I always post updates. I'll post a monthly update with a breakdown, and I put up my dashboard so you can see what's going on. And then on a weekly basis, I'll be posting up posts or bits of research that I find interesting. So as I mentioned, if you like what you see, if you want to stay up to date with my thoughts on the market, please like and subscribe to my channel, follow me or copy me on Etoro. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.